Hello everyone and welcome back to the farm. We're just opening up this bottom field here and we have our 2 headland passes done. Now we're actually going to get into the main operation here. So we're finally getting on corn. It's been a week since we did beans and now the moisture is looking good for the corn, so we're going to kind of hopefully go full bore with that. But things always change on the farm. We got this small field here, and then we have another small field just on the other side of the woods there that we would like to get off as well, which we might be able to finish that tonight. And then we'll have some bigger fields to do. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. This is actually, besides kind of being in a pain in this field here, because it just cuts in there and that can be a little bit of an issue, but and for the most part this corn down here in the bottom is looking really good. So we do have the New Holland and the Kins grain cart there that we're going to be using to haul our corn from here to the entrance of the big field that we did wheat in. We have the semi down here basically with the hopper bottom trailer, and instead of driving it on the field, which we could, especially the tires that we have on that truck, we're just gonna keep it where it's at and just drive to it. It's not a big deal. So yeah, we're hoping to get these 2 smaller fields done tonight, and then I would say probably let's see, the next day or so we're gonna have to try to get as much as we can done. At least that's the plan. That way, it is a little warm right now for November. It's, you know, 73 degrees right now, which I thought was pretty warm. But we just had a cold snap come through after we harvested our beans, and that kind of actually helped out the corn a little bit with the weather, the way it's acting. So we figured if we can at least get going, I mean, we might as well start, because if we're gonna wait, it's gonna be, you know, a couple weeks and we'll have snow on the ground, and I don't like harvesting corn in the snow. It's not that you can't, it's just harder on the combine, especially if you get deep snow. You know, then your header wants to dig into it, and then you pick up a bunch of snow. So we're just gonna, hopefully we can get it done before that happens. So which I did realize too, that we're gonna have to come in here and do some tree work. So when I went around the first pass and took off the corn, it was hard to get close to the row basically, because with all the trees that are overhanging the field here. So something I'm gonna be looking into, maybe even this winter yet, coming down here with a chainsaw, maybe the skid steer, and cutting some branches that are overhanging the field so they don't catch on the combine. Because there was a couple times where I had to kind of, if I wasn't watching, I would have most likely done some damage to the combine. There's some big branches. And that's my fault, because when I was planting this, obviously the planter is a lot lower than what the branches are, so it doesn't really affect it, and I didn't really notice it. until I was in the combine doing that pass, and I'm like, okay, we gotta come down here. So we might just cut some trees down and push them out of the way for now, and then eventually cut them up for wood, for firewood, sell it or something like that. That's a possibility too. Instead of just cutting branches, we'll just cut the trees down, and then we have less shade on the ground. So we're doing pretty good. We're almost done with this field here. This is the biggest piece on this end. It opens up more, but we got almost a full hopper here, 475 bushel in right now. And it looks like I'm getting a little low on diesel too. I should have filled up while I was at the farm, and that's a rookie mistake right there. So I was cleaning off the combine, getting it switched around to beans, the monitor, a couple other things we have to do where the header connects, and I didn't even think of filling it with diesel while I was doing all that. So we're gonna take this little back piece off here. And we should be able to get at least this back piece off without filling the hopper. It'll be probably like 99% by the time we're done with it. I am just going to come in at a different angle too, because we go back and forth at this point, it would just take so much more time because it's short here on the end. So we're going to go against the corn that we planted, kind of different. We didn't plant like that. You can see how the corn is, but it'll still come out. So quite need them on yet. Well, you can see the creek though that runs around here is pretty dried up right now, which might explain why we're in here right now harvesting corn, because there's times where we couldn't get in here until there's a hard frost. I remember the old man struggling with these bottom fields down here. They just never dried out. The creek would sometimes flood and it would just be a mess. But looks like we got some good yielding corn here. And all this corn is going to be pretty much in the same bin. We might need another smaller bin, but which we have, but we can get it all in one. We are. They're not going to separate anything. It's all the same hybrid. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, combine, you're slow. And once we get going on our bigger fields, we are going to have some help. So I won't be doing it all. So I'll pretty much have a family member of mine, I'm not sure who, they'll be running this combine. And I'll be running the grain basically back and forth between the combine and the truck. Then hauling the truck up to the farm, unloading it. So it's kind of what I usually do when the old man was running the combine. And I'm fine with that. I mean, I still get to have my fun with the combine, which like I am now. So it's not that big of a deal. Usually like my uncle or something will come out and help out. And they got plenty of experience in the combine, you know. So I'm not worried about it. Yeah, we are 99%, and we got this little chunkier yet. This one 7 stalks or so. 538 bushel. We're gonna go unload this before we start working on this other piece, because it makes no sense to start. There we go. Man. Combine runs rough. We're gonna have to, I'd like to get a new combine, not a brand new one, but like something that's a little bit bigger. Is it necessary for us? Not really. This does the job. And we're gonna keep going. I think I'll just go until, there we go. There's the 100% I was looking for. 542 bushel. So we got one full hopper, and that's all we're gonna get out of this field. All right, I'm gonna grab the New Holland. All right, so let's get the first load of corn. There we go. Actually, let me turn this around. Stop that quick. All right, there we go. There we go, corn's going down. There we go. Back at it. So we should be able to fill, I would hope, at least the one truck. For sure. Between this field and the other field, they're about the same. I think they're like 4 or 5 acres, something like that. They're nothing too big. Now, in the past, the old mans did different hybrids in these 2 smaller fields. But I did all one hybrid this year, besides our silage corn. Yeah, we might be able to even start some fall tillage too. That'd be kind of nice to get a head start on that. We usually have it where when we're done with one field, usually we have somebody coming in, and whether it's me or the old man or somebody coming in behind that field while we're harvesting, and we're doing already tilling it up, so we don't have to do much in the spring. But this year, I'm not sure how this is going to work. We're going to figure this out. I don't really want to take a break from harvesting to do tillage, because it's kind of important to get this corn off now, so I'm more worried about that than I am tearing up the ground right now. But we do have some liquid manure that we could be spreading too, so there's a couple things we got to figure out. Which we would definitely will. Yeah, I'll come back one more time down this way, then I'm just going to cut it at a weird angle. Just because it just makes more sense to do that. I mean, it's just taking so much time, these shorter ends here. especially this combine, because like it just seems like it takes forever to go from forward to reverse. So yeah, we'll take off this here and then we'll just start cutting down towards the corner there. Well, after 3 o'clock, we're moving. We'll cut in this way then. Yeah, I might have to... Oh, I don't know if I have... Well, I probably have to drive the combine up to the farm and get diesel. Unfortunately, the pickup that I own that's down here, we don't have a diesel tank on there. The one that we had, it just is so rusted out that it just, we don't put diesel in it anymore. It's a yard ornament, basically. So, I'm gonna have to maybe invest in one of them. I mean, I think, what, $1,000, something like that, $900, that you can buy a pretty decent diesel tank for your truck. I'll put that right on the back of it. The old farm truck that we just retired here a couple years ago had a big old diesel tank, and that was the whole back of the truck. We only used it for like pulling hay wagons and stuff. But same thing, I mean, that truck rusted out and basically got rid of it and come with the diesel tank with it. Alright, so we got this little piece yet, and we're going to move on to our other field. We should be, I would think we should be done with corn here, at least the start of it, before dark. Even if we tried, we wouldn't be able to finish all of our corn tonight, because I mean, we'd be going well over 12 hours, and we still wouldn't be done. Alright, 3 stalks there, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to shut the combine off, and I'm going to move to the other field now. Alright, I made it over here. This field, I don't mind, it's a little hilly, but it's pretty much a square field. A lot better than that last one we were in. This one I don't mind at all. We're gonna do the headland pass here. We're just gonna, I think I do one, I believe. And then we're gonna do a time lapse of parts of us harvesting this field. Yeah, and see here, this is where we're climbing the hill, and we're dropping down to 3 miles per hour. So that's the only downfall with this. Going down's easy, but sometimes can be actually kind of scary if you're running a grain cart and you have a full load. Even with the gravity wagons, they're same thing. I mean, them are more prone to accidents than the grain cart. There's our other cornfield that we'll be getting into eventually. Hey, and then we're going 9 miles an hour downhill. So yeah, that big slump basically in the field is going to slow us down, but regardless, we'll get it. almost could turn the lights on now in some spots. See, now here, this is some stuff that the old man used to do. Is he did some tree work in here, because the trees used to overhang in here too, quite. I mean, they were bad. I mean, there were some oak trees in here that were terrible, and then every year you deal with a branch or two that was in the middle of it. So this is nice. Obviously, there's still a few that we could probably work on, but we don't have to cut trees down like we probably will in the other field. Barely missed that. And it is just a beautiful evening now out here. 70 degrees. Perfect harvesting weather. I actually like it a little cold. I like it in the 50s, but alright, now we're just gonna go basically up and back and forth and get her done. Alright, we got this field done before dark. And we are going to park the combine here with everything else. We're going to take that load of corn up to the farm, unload that into the bin. And we are going to leave this here. I'll just take the combine home. Let's see, the New Holland, I believe I shut off. I think so. I'll leave the pickup here. I shouldn't need that. And I'm gonna take this, we didn't quite get a full trailer here. We're pretty much there though. Didn't spill any, that's good. Then again, I have a deer stand over there, so I wouldn't mind to spill a little bit over here. Alright, let's take this up to the farm and unload it to our bin. Great. So I'm gonna pull like this, I'll have to move. That out here. Gonna open this first, the top of it. There we go. Obviously, I'll have to get underneath it a little bit better now. Alright. Okay, that should do. got it going in the bin. That's awesome. About 15,000. So we do have the two smaller bins here. We might, I don't know, but if we need them, we'll have them. We should be able to get most of it, if not all of it, in this bin. Can't quite remember how many bushels we can get in this bin. Okay, one hopper's empty. There we go. Yep. In she goes. And once we get that unloaded, I'll just take that down when I go back. Probably tomorrow and start harvesting some more. I'll just leave it up here for night. Get it turned around. Alright, we'll get an 806 so I can at least... So I don't think I need my pickup truck. I don't think so. There we go. So that is... we'll move this out of the way. Okay. Let the tractor RPMs, there we go. And we're gonna turn off lights. Perfect. Alright guys. Well, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Stay tuned for the second part of our corn harvest, which will hopefully get majority of it corn done, actually, if not all of it, on the next episode. So we only got our two small fields out of the way. Alright, so that's it. Appreciate you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one. Have a good one.